In hardcore, the structure is usually very simple. It goes something like intro, build up, drop. After this, the same ride goes on with the break, build up, melody drop, outro drop, or something along those lines. But what I usually hear from my favorite artists like Anger Feats and DJ Mad Dog, these rules don't usually matter that much at all. But why? Well, the best producers know how to manipulate their tracks in a way that sounds intuitive, and it is usually very clear when the drop is coming, for example. So they can make their own structures for their tracks. Let's talk intro.
Rock like this.
Here we start with the intro sweep and intro. Here I usually bring up the main elements from the track. For example, you might hear that good chunk of the producers have this kind of pre-intro, and when the intro hits, they use the main kick of the track with a huge amount of reverb or delay in here. What about the build-ups and the drops? Well, the build-up is pretty simple stuff, not going too deep in this. The pre-drop is pretty difficult to freeze in a template, because your vocal might be longer or shorter than mine, but usually the 4-bar break in the pre-drop section builds up nice tension and energy before the drop. The drop parts, what do they mean? Well, these parts like part 1 and part 2, for example, just mean the difference between these two sections. Human hearing gets bored to the same sound really fast, in these days where the drops sound like sample pack promo tracks. For example, in this track, the melody goes up in pitch, or I add some more stereo to the sounds, not too complex, but it works fine in this case. Just bring something new to the table every 8 or every 4 bars, if the tempo is slower. Mini break, what the f***? Don't worry, this is really simple. In this case I bring up the melody in the first drop, and the drop is kind of basic, so with this mini break part, I use a fast build up and switch the kick up for just 8 bars. This kind of working breaks up the rules and distracts the listener for thinking that something new is happening. But this joy ends pretty fast for the breakdown part. Because the break is pretty boring for most of the listeners these days, I try to make the last part just before the break kind of clickbait, if you can say so. With this thought in mind, we are waiting for the next drop, which is going to be the melody one. In the melody drop, the parts stay the same, as mentioned before. From here, this should be easy ride to home. As you can see from this structure, I am using all the different track parts as a one working unit and replaying them with as much distance from each other as I can. So I might fool the listener to think that I actually put a lot of effort for this track. The C part is usually just a part when you can add contrast to the track by doing an anticlimactic drop or something different. About this template and how you can get your hands on it, go into the link into the description. The link is into my website. Go to store, add this thing to your shopping cart, give your email name, stuff like this. Don't need to be your real name, and you will get a download link to this product. This is a free one, and the reason why I'm selling this in my website as a free product is just to test things out, and if the stuff works, I can add more products that are free or paid. You're not only getting my structural template, you're actually getting my actual production template with delay and reverb sense. So think about it. Thank you. See you in the next one.